Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the HB Studio podcast with Tim and Kristin. Episode 24, The Weight of Regret, the Gift of a Second Chance. You know, regret reminds us we've grown. It whispers what we wish we could change and shows us who we've become. But second chances, they aren't always grand gestures. Sometimes they're quiet choices. A text, an apology, a fresh start. We can't rewrite the past, but we can respond differently now. Today, Kristin and I are going to reflect on regret, not to dwell in it, but to learn from it. Because second chances don't just show up. We create them when we're brave enough to try again. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Tim.
What's up, Kristin? How you been?
I've been well.
Outstanding. We're
How
back
have
at
you
it.
been?
Oh, man, busy.
You know, I don't like the word busy anymore.
What do you like?
I don't know.
I need more words in my
You want unscripted?
catalog here. Hey.
Hey. Well, first of all, when somebody asks me how I'm doing and I say good, I always get a little jumbled in my head because I know that's not proper English.
What?
So I was impressed with myself just now when I answered that I'm well instead
well.
of good. So here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm well, thanks.
Yeah. And busy's fine. Life is that way.
Oh, indeed. Indeed it is, Chris. Mm-hmm. It's rather unscripted.
But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you rather have more to do than less?
Absolutely.
I think that's the way we're wired.
God, ew, I can't imagine being bored.
Well, when you're bored,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm bored, I end up wasting a lot lot
Exactly.
It's so weird.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like, where did the day go?
I know.
Well, jackass.
It went on your couch and into your TV screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. And I don't really watch TV, but the scrolling or just I'll get into these ridiculous projects at my house of decluttering.
Oh,
and I
man.
act like I'm really solving some problems. I think I'm just checking the box in my mind that I'm moving, you know?
Are you, though?
I mean, I guess so. This weekend I organized the pencil drawer in my house. Pens, pencils, tape.
Life of a mom.
Oh my gosh, so lame, right? And I
Shit.
pick my head up and like 3 hours later I'm like, that's nice. But you know, the next 5 minutes, everything's back to how it was. It's an exercise in futility, which is what
Exactly.
happens if I have time on my hands is futility. He's speechless.
I mean, you said the mouthful right there, Jack. That was a lot to take in right there, folks. I'm just saying.
First 2 minutes into the podcast.
Boom.
Well, okay. Well, I'll get us on track. So we got good feedback because we are going unscripted, as we've said 3 times on this one. We have decided to continue our series on the wisdom of the tea bag. And if you have not heard our podcast yet, what we're doing is we have beautiful teas. Thank you, Yogi Teas.
Thank you.
Non-sponsored, by the way.
No,
but if
no,
they
it's-
want to,
Hey, reach out.
I mean, we'd be okay with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we'd consider it.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Shoot.
Jeez, we're nice people.
Hey, and darn it, people like us.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, so we open up a tea bag and they have these little sayings on them. At least the Yogi tea bags do. And we open up and we read the sentence and then we talk about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So far the little nuggets of wisdom have been really good.
Yeah.
And I expect nothing different, I guess.
Nah.
Ready?
This is how we roll.
Let's
Absolutely.
do it. Okay, so tea bag.
Tea bag.
This is peppermint tea. You like
That's gonna smell
peppermint?
good. Heck yeah.
I do too. I don't like spearmint though.
Nah, spearmint's a little too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spearmint gum makes me hungry. How weird is that?
Interesting.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Oh, Tim. It says we can always start again.
Now, folks, as somebody who is a critical thinker, okay, who's we? Why did you stop? And why did you start? And what is it that you're trying to achieve?
I feel like a song is trying to play in my head about this, but
Oh
I
my
don't know
gosh.
what song it would be.
That sounds like an 80s one-hit wonder.
After all the stars
Well, it's
stop.
definitely a country music
Oh,
song.
that was backwards too.
Go for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it just I don't like this one.
Say it again.
We can always start again.
We can always start again.
That's not true.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
There aren't redos.
There isn't. Interesting.
All right, what does this make you think about?
Oh, wow. It makes me think about worrying about regret. You know, there's a actually I'm telling on myself. There's a quote I have on my Facebook profile. And it says, or it reads, excuse me, it doesn't talk to you, it reads.
But if it could, it would say.
It would. It would say that fear has the potential to be controlled, and regret does not.
Fear has the potential to be controlled, but regret does not.
That's correct.
Well, absolutely. That is the antithesis of what this teabag just told us.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, you don't always have a chance to start over. That's why you...
Not if you're in a regrettable situation.
Exactly.
And now I guess you don't have to carry regret with you, but at the same time, you have to learn from it. That's not a start over. No. That's a wisdom kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did you actually learn from it?
You're going to repeat it again.
Exactly. You know, and fear normally keeps you from trying and keep trying and trying. Fear makes you stop a lot of times, or run, or hide, or fight. You know, fight or flight.
Yes.
But you know, that's something that can be controlled. Ultimately, regret, it's too late.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're starting over, are you going to start over with the same type of energy, that same type of drive, if you're living with regret? Because I'm not quite sure how you can do that. If I'm regretting something that I didn't achieve, and it's completely on me, am I really going to go after it as hard as I did the first time? I don't know. I don't know. So that's why you want to control that fear before regret sets in, because regret's too late. I mean, that's literally the definition of regret. It's too late. It's gone. Your chance is over. You know, even though you might achieve it later on down the road, right? That's time you're not going to get back, right? Because you've already spent time the first time. You didn't achieve it, but you didn't achieve it because you didn't you know, put everything into it. So you're starting all over again. But that's time that you lost because you didn't achieve it the first time. You're going to either regret the fact that you didn't achieve it, you didn't do your best, or you're going to regret the fact that your time is gone. That's time that you could have spent with your family. That's time you could have spent on another project. That's time you could have spent expanding whatever it is that you've already created.
This one struck a chord for you.
Yeah, I regret. It irritates me because I already have a regret, and maybe I'll talk about that on a podcast sometime.
Now all of our listening audience, including myself, want to know.
Oh,
you can't drop that.
That'll be another podcast.
Well, so I think what I'm hearing is, let's say you did start something and it didn't go how you hoped, intended. And I almost said the word planned, but that's where part 2 comes in. Is it's not a you can always start again. You only get one chance to start something the first time.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't restart.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't start something a second, third, fourth, subsequent times to make it a success. But to me, that's wisdom, is what you gain from having results that were less than desirable. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes, and so maybe your first try is regrettable because you didn't plan enough. You didn't train enough. You didn't prepare. You didn't give yourself enough time. Whatever it is. I don't think that's where you say, oh, I regret that didn't work out, and you stop. I think that's where you say, I regret I didn't train hard enough. I regret I didn't learn enough. I regret that I tried something when I know I wasn't ready. And that's when you restart, but being better armed. And I do think that's wisdom, because Lord knows you can't always be successful at everything you try to start. And I think in the business world,
especially.
Yeah, I mean, we can really feel that because we've started businesses. We've stopped doing businesses.
It's true.
But then you pan out, and that's a personal thing. That could be a weight loss goal. That could be a muscle gains goal. That could be joining a group or staying out of a group. I mean, it's really, I don't want people to feel stuck, because that's not healthy.
It's not.
But you also don't get that first chance ever again.
Don't.
And so if you're fortunate enough to have an opportunity to have a second chance or a second try at something again, then I think a lot of people learn and do better. And those that don't learn and try harder end up with regret again and again and again.
That wall and that bloody nose.
Yeah. Right. And that's the definition of insanity, really.
Indeed.
Is that you keep doing something, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. That it just doesn't work. And so I'm sorry, Yogi, I challenge you that we can always start again, because I don't think we can always start again from that same lens. What I think is that we can always try again. And I think that changes the entire tea bag. We can always try again, but as your mom would say, Tim, do better. Right?
Absolutely. Do better, man.
Do better.
And you only do that by not fearing. Not fearing the outcome, but focusing on what you can do to make sure the outcome is successful. That's extremely important.
You a wise man, Timmy Vio.
That's my dad's fault. But thank you, Kristin. I appreciate that. I try.
You do well. Try again.
No regrets. The HB Studio Podcast is brought to you by the historic Roy Hill in Clemens, North Carolina. The opinions and thoughts presented on this podcast are that of Kristin, Tim, and their guests alone. Our goal is to bring positive motivation through real-life experiences and training as business professionals. Thank you for listening.